You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA 2K25. Make sure you hit the link in our description to pre-order your copy now. There is not long at all until the game releases. And trust me, you're going to want to get hold of it. I'm back. So Scott Perry, so is BJ Armstrong. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, Mo.
Good,
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 man.
good, good.
Doing
Look at
doing really
Mo. Mo,
well.
look at Mo.
But
How
yeah,
you doing,
but
Mo? How you
yeah,
doing?
yeah. You
I,
you
I
you
mean,
you you the world traveler. So yeah, how
I
you been?
I came back. I came back home today. I didn't sleep on the plane. I got back home, and I don't remember falling asleep. But I just got woken up by Scott ringing my phone saying, "Where are you? We're trying to record the show." So,
Yeah.
so I took a little trip, fellas. I took a little trip. I went to Springfield, Massachusetts. I
Okay,
went to the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame, the birthplace of basketball. They
awesome.
invented it, right? Um,
Okay.
and I was doing some stuff with NBA 2K25. As the game is launching very soon, I got an early opportunity to play the game myself and a whole bunch of other creators from around the world. We got to link up and play NBA 2K25, and I'll talk more about that later in the week. But it
Yeah,
was pretty cool, and then we got to have a tour around the Hall of Fame as well, which was pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to later in the week hearing about your skills playing that game, Mo.
Oh,
So
come on,
I
come
can
on,
play the game
come on.
exactly.
My reputation precedes me at this point, Scotty. So as you guys might know, the cover athlete for this year's game, there's three different athletes on the cover. We've got the Jason Tatum edition, we've got the Asia Wilson edition, and we've got the Vince Carter edition. Now, Jason Tatum, we know NBA champion right now. We're not going to talk about the Olympics, but we know what he's been doing. Asia Wilson, we also know what kind of champion she is, winning on every level. But I wanted to share with some of our audience who may not have been around in the 90s and the 2000s to watch Vince Carter. I wanted to share with them any stories you have about Vince Carter, who's on the legendary cover of this year's game, and just to why he's on that cover and why he's so important to the game of basketball.
Let me start because I go back to watching Vince Carter first when he was in high school. He was a tremendous high school player, super athletic, had a nice career at North Carolina. Then he lands with the Toronto Raptors. And as fate would have it, when he landed with the Toronto Raptors, uh, good friend of mine who was the head coach there at that time, Mr. Butch Carter, and I was a collegiate coach at that time. I used to go up to Toronto to training camp each year and pick up things in terms of what they were doing. Got a chance to know Vince and Tracy and a number of those guys on that team. And Toronto was an ascending franchise and, on the cusp of going to the playoffs. And they were obviously being built around Vince Carter as the marquee guy. So one year, and BJ would remember this, I go down. My season is over in college, and they are playing the Orlando Magic, and BJ's a member of the Orlando Magic, and so I go down there to be with Butch. I'm in the locker room, and seeing how they prepare for games. He invites me to sit behind the bench, so I can, really learn what they're doing, see what I could take back to my team in college. So as the game is unfolding, and Butch Carter was really, really good during timeouts, and he would draw up a couple plays during the timeout. And so he drew up this one particular play. It was a misdirection play that ended up into this fantastic lob to Vince Carter. Vince, I mean, as we know, you've seen the dunk contest, it felt like his chest was at the rim there. It was a beautiful execution. So after the game, all I wanted to do, I wanted to talk to Butch about. I said, man, you've got to show me that play because it happened really quickly. I had an idea, but you got to diagram that play so I could put that in. And I will never forget, he stopped me. He said, Scott, he said, is that all you took from the game was that running that lob play? He said, first and foremost, understand this. He said, you don't have Vince Carter on your roster where you coaching in college. So don't worry about that. Let's talk about some other stuff. So, so that's one of my early Vince Carter stories. And tremendous guy, and his fate would have it later on toward the end of his career when I was an executive of Sacramento Kings, we signed Vince as a free agent too. So Couldn't the Hall of Fame induction couldn't happen for not only a great player but a classy individual. So kudos to Vince, and great to see him on the cover of NBA 2K 2025.
Yes, sir. BJ, how about yourself? Do you remember the play that Scott's talking about, or was that too long ago? 1998. Was it 98, 99?
Yeah, I got a short memory, bro. You know,
Exactly.
I have a short memory. You know, getting dunked on by somebody. I'm sure someone missed the coverage. Hopefully, it wasn't me
Exactly.
who missed that
No,
coverage.
no,
So,
I don't think BJ was in the game. So I say, because if BJ
okay,
was in the game,
yeah.
I would have remembered that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
BJ, what was it like?
No,
What was it like going up against Vince on the court?
well, you just saw a tremendous athlete, and you know, congratulations to him on his career. I mean, I think he played like 20, 21 years or something like that.
He played
Or,
from 98 to 2020. That's 22
Mhm.
years in the NBA.
You know, he was such a phenomenal athlete. You know, I don't know, he had a 50 something vertical or what have you, but his longevity and what he was able to do and how he played, and yes, you know, all the dunk contest, the Olympic moment when he literally jumped over a 7 footer really stands out. And but he was just he was a good guy, and that's what I remember most. And I've had the pleasure of meeting him over the years, and to watch how he just carried himself with you know, he was a stand-up guy. So congratulations to him. What a career he's had. Now he's transitioned to doing media and doing other things. So he is definitely someone that the you know, the future and the young people of today can look up to emulate, and have a, you know, and say, hey, maybe, you know, he didn't achieve all of the individual accolades that, you know, we put so much emphasis on. But when you just say a good person, the way he conducted his business, going to college, if I remember correctly, I think he graduated, got his degree from North Carolina, and you know, you can't find a place. Scott and them signed him. I think it was in Sacramento, right, Scott?
Sacramento, yes.
Sacramento
Mhm.
at the
2017.
time. You know,
17,
he
yep.
was you can't find anyone say he wasn't a good teammate.
No question.
So he's very deserving of the Hall of Fame, and you know, I'm just looking forward to seeing what he's going to do next in his career as it unfolds. I mean, he's just had a great job in the game, and he's continuing to move the game forward.
You know, and just to add to that real quickly, you know, when you're talking about professionals, you've heard BJ and I use that term a lot about the importance of being professional. Yeah, knowing Vince when he first came in the league, early in the league, how he was, that, you know, there were some good veterans there in Toronto. Charles Oakley was there. I remember Antonio Davis was there. Doug Christie was part of that team. Dale Curry, and how Vince, you know, allowed those guys, even though Vince was the face of the franchise, but he allowed those guys to really teach him, shepherd him, and how he handled that situation. And then you go all the way until the time into 2017, like I said, when we signed him in Sacramento, the type of veteran he became and the responsibility he felt for imparting knowledge on younger players like De'Aaron Fox at the time. And so it's just awesome to see that maturation, and kind of, you know, knowing him a little bit when he first came in the league to, you know, toward the end. That's what you want, you know, if you could put that definition in the dictionary of what a professional is and how he was developed, Vince Carter's picture would be there, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I've had a chance to sit down and talk to Vince a couple of times. And he's, when you talk about discipline, you know, to have a 22-year career in the NBA, that's not something you see often. So you have to make sure that you keep yourself in peak condition, you know, recovering from injuries and all that kind of stuff, and preparing for every single game in a professional way. And that's what really separates some of the guys who have super long careers and go on to achieve all these amazing things to other players who don't. You know, I've sat down with Jason Tatum as well, and from a very young age, he's always had the professional mindset similar to Vince Carter about him that kind of make these players have these legendary careers. I've not had the chance to sit down with Asia Wilson though, who's been too busy winning a couple WNBA championships, WNBA MVPs, Defense Player of the Years, and pretty much every single accolade in the world for women's basketball. So those are the three cover athletes for NBA 2K25, which you can get through the link in our description. And the player ratings have been revealed. The people at NBA 2K have made a list of the top 100 players. And we're going to have a look at some of them today. And I want to get your reactions. We're going to start from number 20 going up to number 11. And then tomorrow we're going to do the top 10. And I'm going to give it to you in order. And I want you to tell me if you agree with this order of ranking these players. So at number 20, we've got our good friend, Mr. Ja Morant, who's back, who's a 90 overall rated player. And he's got the same rating as Mr. Tyrese Halliburton, who's also a 90 overall, and he's 19th on this list. Do you have those two guys in the same bracket in the NBA? Because for me, I think if we're picking teams, I'd rather have Ja Morant. But what do you guys think about those two being ranked the same?
You know, the one thing is just help us understand, Mo, from your perspective, the ranking. How do you get to these rankings? Like,
So
what is it?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
that's a great question.
that's a big question.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
how do you
great.
get
I
to
should
this
have
ranking?
explained that. So it's a combination of the skill sets of these players. So every player in the game, they get rankings for different elements of their game. For example, it's inside scoring, outside scoring, perimeter defense, interior defense, offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, steals, blocks, basketball IQ. So they get assigned ratings for each of these categories, and the categories go even deeper than that in terms of levels of detail and technicality. And then once all of those ratings have been put together for each player, you then are left with the overall rating, which is out of 100. We've only seen players be ranked 100 overall a couple times, and we're talking about the likes of prime Shaq or prime Kevin Garnett at the peak of his powers, or LeBron when he was in Miami. So, usually, and Michael Jordan, of course. We're going to leave that out, but that's when we look at the old teams. But usually when you're looking at players, when you're talking about 90 and above, you're talking about the all-stars of the league. So there's 20 guys here who are ranked 90 out of 100 or above.
So my question is, okay, Ja didn't play a lot of games last year, so how does he arrive at the? I'm just trying to figure out.
This is they're predicting how the top 20 is going to look for 2025.
25. Okay. So they're going back.
So they're saying this season,
last season with Ja.
Yeah. So they're saying this season, 2025, they've got Ja Morant at 20 and Tyrese Halliburton at 19. How do you guys feel about that?
So it's their subjective ranking there, right? It's their subjective.
Well, they've got algorithms and everything that goes into it. So I guess it's subjective, yeah. As it's still subjective,
yeah, because obviously, still they gotta.
It's what I'm saying, because
subjectively assign some.
Yeah, but if Ja doesn't play, how do you know? So you're just projecting.
They're basing it on from the season before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you have Ja and Tyrese in the same category? Do you weight them evenly as NBA players?
Look, for one thing that you didn't mention in the algorithm, it was the athleticism.
Oh, that's in there as well.
That is as well. Yeah, okay. You didn't mention.
Oh no, Scott. There's so many. I couldn't list all of them for you.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Look, it's you're splitting hairs a little bit because on the one hand, obviously, Tyrese Halliburton played last year, helped his team go to a conference final. Ja Morant missed pretty much the entire season last year. So I can understand how they got to that ranking going into the year. And again, I don't know who's 21 to 30 either. Are we leaving somebody from 21 to 30 that could be maybe above both of those guys? I don't know. But giving what you said, I understand it a little bit. I mean, if you ask me just, based on sheer talent from what I've seen in the past from both of them, when both were healthy, I personally may have Morant ahead of him then. But if you factor in, again, missing all of last year, you don't know how he's going to come back Morant physically for sure and all that. I understand how they have him slightly ahead of have Halliburton slightly ahead of Morant based on that.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about NBA 2K is you can turn off the injuries, unlike in real life. So you can play with a fully healthy roster whenever you want. But at number 18 on their list, they have Victor Wembanyama as a 91 overall. A couple of people have been mad
I'm
about this.
I'm gonna be quiet on that one because I know somebody's got something to say.
So BJ, I'm gonna leave this one with you. A couple of people have been mad that they've got Victor Wembanyama ranked higher than Ja Morant. But what's your take on that?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Wait
Wait a minute. What do you mean? 91. Why is he only ranked 91? I mean,
exactly. That's
wait a minute.
Exactly.
No, that's not an argument. Like based on last year, what I saw, I can only tell you what I saw, not what I'm projecting. Based on what I saw,
Yeah.
Here's a young man that very easily could have been Defensive Player of the Year in limited minutes. He was limited in how many minutes he could play, and in spite of that, he still could have been Defensive Player of the Year.
Did you know this? This is the highest rating ever for a second-year player in NBA 2K.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
is
I
it?
think it's low.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I
think that's low. I think that's a low ranking. So
BJ was. I think BJ figured he would hear Victor's name tomorrow.
Yeah,
we talked about the show.
Yeah.
1 through 10, exactly. So this is too early.
All I know is this: that 91 ranking.
Yep.
It took 12. It took 12 NBA players to beat him. It was a 3-point game in the fourth quarter. Okay. So now I don't know what the rankings are, what the projections say. I don't know too many 19, 20-year-olds achieve that. Okay. So I need to figure out, I need to have a private conversation to figure out who this young man, who's doing the rankings. Because based on what I've seen, that's low.
Well, I'll tell you this though, BJ. I'll tell you this. The beautiful thing about NBA 2K25 is that the rankings change throughout the year. So if he starts the season playing how we know he can play, he could climb up to a 95 by the end of November. Okay. So he can keep going higher and higher.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I expect him to ascend up the list.
Based on my, now I'm gonna give my rankings. If they gave their rankings, I'm gonna give my rankings. If he was able to average over 30 minutes a night, he's at least a 97.
Yeah, the minutes is probably why he's not.
Yeah, the minute, right?
Hey, no, based on what I saw, he should be a minimum of a 97. Based on what I saw.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, since everybody giving their opinion, so I'm giving mine. Okay, I'm gonna walk in my power and abundance right now.
I think Mo, we're gonna put, you know how they used to do. I don't know if you're familiar with Billboard magazine where they used, rank music, top music. You're familiar, yeah. So Victor Wembanyama is 18 with a bullet. That means he's going up. He's exactly.
Well, last year he started.
He's gonna be moving up.
Yeah, last year he started as 84 overall without ever having played an NBA game, and that was the highest ever ranking for a rookie before they played an NBA game in their career.
They might have missed this one. I need to be in the ranking system.
Oh hell yeah!
He needs to be, without question. He's a minimum of a 90. I'm gonna be nice. He's 97. He's 97.
Okay,
he's minimum. He's 97.
Because I do think that career achievements do somewhat play a part. Because when I tell you who's at number 17 and number 16 ahead of Victor Wembanyama, I don't think you're gonna be too happy, BJ. Because at number 17, as a 92 overall player, is Kawhi Leonard. Kyrie Irving is also 92 overall. This year's Finals MVP Jaylen Brown is a 92 overall, and Donovan Mitchell is a 92 overall. So
are those 16, 15, 14? So give me the next. So Kawhi
is 17. Kyrie is 16. Jaylen Brown is 15. And Donovan Mitchell is 14th on this list. See,
we got to get on it. We got to get on a different frequency right now. The frequency is off right now. You know what I mean? 91.1.
What would you give Kawhi Leonard then? factoring in
you
everything
can't
at this
use-
stage of his career.
he's not available. But I know you guys, we're in a different reality. I'm just telling you based on what I've seen. You got to like do it. He hasn't been healthy. What do you want me to do?
So what would you
What
have
you want
like
me to say?
a 90 below?
Hey, based on what I've seen, I can't. How can I give him something he hasn't played?
I think the big question here is they've ranked Kawhi, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, and Donovan Mitchell as being all of them 92 overall. If you had to put those 4 players in order, how would you rank those 4 guys? Do you think they're all the same, or do you think some should be higher than others?
If we're sitting here today, I'm putting the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals and Finals at the head of that list.
Yep,
he's available.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. That's what I'm saying. He's a two-way
yes.
player. You know, he's a champion now, current champion. He's healthy. He's athletic. His game continues to evolve and grow. Give me Jaylen Brown. He should be at the front of that. He should not be. He should be ahead of that group, the head of that group.
And,
so
and how would you
if that means being a
those...
93, if that means being a 93 to their 92, so be it. Then
how would you order the other 3 guys? Kawhi, Kyrie, and Donovan Mitchell. In what order would you have them?
I'm going. Well, Scott is thinking. I'm going Kyrie. I'm doing Donovan, and then I'm going Kawhi. You got to be available.
Yeah, and I was and Kyrie, obviously from a skill set, I have him above Donovan.
Yes,
but even Kyrie, his available now. He was available pretty much last year. So
based on last year. You just said last year.
And Kyrie's an NBA champion too.
Yeah, it's going into this season. You know what I mean? It's going into this season.
I would go Jaylen ahead at the head. Kyrie, Donovan and Kawhi. And Kawhi. Now again, if Kawhi's an NBA champion as well, but heck, he's missed so many games.
Now, as they said, based on what you said, the rankings can change.
Yeah.
Kawhi give me, a substantial amount of games this year.
Yeah, Kawhi give me 75 games. Kawhi give me 75 games, he could go to the top of the list. Top of that group right there. Yeah.
Well, above them in 13, 12, and 11 is 3 players who are ranked 93 overall. So bear in mind the 4 players I just told you, or even all the players we've said so far. These players are ranked as 93 overall ahead of them. At 13, we've got Jalen Brunson. At 12, we've got Devin Booker. And at 11, just sitting outside the top 10, we've got Anthony Edwards. What do you make of that?
And who's at 11? You said Anthony
Edwards. Anthony Edwards is 11.
I got to hear who's at 10, ahead of him.
We got to wait for tomorrow's episode, Scott.
I got to have Jaylen Brown ahead of Jalen Brunson. And I love Jalen Brunson. But Jaylen Brown, bigger, stronger, two-way player, 2 different positions. I get that. But coming off of last season, and I know Jaylen Brunson had a terrific season. But man, this guy, again, you MVP of the finals. And
he's been in the finals how many times now? Twice?
He's been in the finals twice. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals, four times?
Almost every year.
5 times. Exactly.
Every year the
5 times.
They've basically been
4 or 5 times. So I'd have Jaylen Brown.
He's got to be ranked. He's got to be above it.
He's got to be right, but he might be right behind Anthony Edwards on this list for me. I'd move him to 12.
Well, right now,
of what we've talked about,
based on achievements, because you got to prove it. Now, if we just want to say now, based on potential and the talent and all that, that's another ranking. I just got to call it like we see it. I got to call it like I see it. Jaylen Brown. I got to. He's moved into he's got to be in tomorrow's announcement.
He's gonna be in top 10, right?
Him and Wemby got to be in tomorrow's announcement. now, I got to get the list, and I got to take 2 people out because you can't put. You got to achieve. You got to do it. You got to prove it. You got to. This man has won and been to the conference finals. What 3-4 years now? Or more than that, probably, right?
But, He's
been to the 2 NBA finals. He's won one. He's MVP.
Mhm.
Come on. I mean, come on. Like,
It's 6 Eastern Conference Finals.
6 Eastern Conference. Yeah, come on.
Six
Yeah,
in,
no,
six
that's
in
what I'm
what,
saying.
8 years?
So
I can't. I got it. No, you got to put some respect on Mr. Brown's name. Come on,
yes,
we gotta.
yeah,
He's done it now. He's done it. We can't say could, would. There's no more potential on his name. This man has done it. He has achieved. So now he's got to be in tomorrow. So I'm just gonna say that was a misprint, and we're gonna move on. There could be no top 10 list with his name not on it. And Wemby has done it. Wemby solidified his this summer. He let everybody know he's here. He's in the building. He's in the building. He's here now. He's done it. There's nothing else we can say now. Now, the only thing we used to always say here, there was only one, how did it go, Scott? Dean Smith was the only guy that held Michael Jordan under 20 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, right now, Coach Popovich, you know what I mean? I love Coach Pop. I love Coach Pop. Victor Wembanyama is he's a top 5 player. I'm putting him in my top 5 right now. Wow. Right now. No, I don't know.
Wow.
Okay.
Now see, but to go with what you were just saying though, again, I know he's headed that way and in a short enough time frame. He probably going to end up at number 1
team this year. He was defended by
exactly. I got it. But like you said, to your point though, about having to have done it, they haven't won yet.
Okay,
and so that's why I'm gonna hesitate in putting him in.
I'm gonna hesitate.
Top 5 just because I got to leave the carrot out there for him. Do I think he's gonna get there? Do I think he's gonna ascend to number 1 in the next 2 years, 2-3 years? Probably. But
okay.
But right now,
I will refute that by saying this.
Exactly.
in the minutes that he's earned, because I'm not asking nobody to give him anything. In the minutes that he's earned, his per 48 minutes got to be as good or better than anyone in the NBA right now. In the minutes that he has, in the minutes he played. Now, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to us, just casual observers. I'm a casual observer of the game. I don't know why he wasn't playing 35 minutes a night. Now, somebody got to explain to me why he wasn't playing 35 minutes.
You got to get that tank going somehow. You got to get the tank going somehow.
I don't know what it was. I don't know the reason. But what I do know is when he plays, he affects the bottom line. That's what I know.
But to your point, see, I want to see him handle 35 minutes a night too. Obviously, he wasn't put in that position last year, but then can he handle that? And that's what again, the question.
Well, again, there's only one way to find out.
Oh no, he got to do it. Oh no, he's got to. Yeah, he's got to be put in a position. Yeah.
No, he ain't got to be put in a position. No, just don't put no substitutions and let.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about putting in a position. That's what I'm saying. You got to get. You got to leave him out there.
Now, for whatever reason, now he might have. I'm sure the Spurs understand him way better than I do. But it appears to be, from my perspective, that this young man should probably be playing a minimum of 33 minutes a night. At a minimum. At a minimum. I agree. And 33 minutes a night will affect the bottom line, which is winning and losing in the NBA with his level of talent. Right. Now, if he can't handle that, okay, he can't handle it. But it appears to be that whatever was going on over this summer, he looked like he can handle 33 minutes a night.
Like I said, that's what we got to see, because that's what's going to take him.
He'll be.
Mo's been real quiet. I think Mo is involved in these rankings with him. Exactly. He's not saying that. Exactly.
If I was involved in these rankings, you think Jaylen Brown would be outside the top 10? You think I'm gonna let Jaylen Brown sit outside the top 10?
Yeah. Point well taken, bro. Point well taken.
Never. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. But the rankings do change throughout the year, and I'm excited for tomorrow to see the actual top 10. And we're gonna have a discussion about if you think Wemby's top 10 material and Jaylen Brown's top 10 material, that's two people we got to knock down. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode. It's going to be an exciting one. So no, I appreciate you guys. I'm excited for NBA 2K25. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I'm excited, Mo, who the other 8 people are. I'm excited who the other 8 people are because I know it's 10. So 2 players have already been announced for the top 10 rankings.
Well, that means that means tomorrow's episode. Then that means you're gonna have to take 2 out of the top 10.
What I think we're gonna have to end up doing is we're gonna have to do our own rankings. And put them side by side. That might be something for later this offseason we have to work on. Is the Hoop Genius podcast top 50 or something like that?
Under no this is non-negotiable. Jaylen Brown is in the rankings and Wemby is in the rankings. Now, I don't know who the other 8 guys are. There is no comparison here. Jaylen Brown is in the building. Okay. That man is in the building and Wemby is in the building. Now, I don't know who the other 8 will be announced, but we're going to find out tomorrow. We'll find out.
We will. So make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to the show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, because I can't wait to hear what we're going to say about that top 10 list when it comes out. I'm already excited.
It's the top 8. I'm not even
top 8. Okay. So 2 of them are losing their spots already.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Appreciate you, fellas, as always. Anyone who's listening to this, make sure you get your copy of NBA 2K25 through the link in our description. It helps support the show, keeps us doing what we do. And we'll be bringing you more tomorrow on another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast. So until then, you guys know what it is. Much like Victor Wembanyama and Jaylen Brown, get buckets.